Everybody's wrapping presents. It's that time of year. I'm going to give you some tips on how to make a beautiful present like this, and especially some details on how to create a beautiful bow. Caught me wrapping gifts. I know everybody's going crazy about this time of year, trying to get all the gifts we bought for other people wrapped into pretty presents. And I was telling Liz the other day, I have gotten so many emails, and I do every time this time of year, about bows. I mean, we've done Liz Bow Making 101, we've done bows, we've done wreaths, but y'all seem to be fascinated with the, what I call multi-dimensional ribbons, which include several different kinds of ribbons, several different textures of ribbon. And I consider them easy to make, don't you think, Liz? Liz makes some pretty ribbons, so it's not a complicated thing. I was just going to give y'all some, instruction on how to pick the ribbon, how to choose the different kinds of textures and sizes and, patterns and colors. So we're going to kind of have, I guess, bow making 101 too, Liz. When you're dealing with monochromatic, you definitely need to depend on texture, since it's all one color for pop. You can vary the sizes of the ribbon, the textures of the ribbon. Some of these have glitter, some of these are just plain, but definitely keep in mind that that's the only thing that you have that's going to make a difference is your different textures. I like to tie my ribbon on first, actually to the box, without any kind of glue or pipe cleaner, so that I then can start the layering process. I would start off with the widest ribbon first, and then work my way up, using about 1.5 yards or 2 yards of each particular ribbon to create the bow, and then finally tie it off at the very end with the same loop that I tied around the box. This is great for 2 reasons. One, it adheres to the box perfectly, and then if the person getting the gift wants to keep the bow, they can slide it off. Okay, from silver to lime green, red, and Christmas green. The one thing that I do love about the holiday season now is we've added lime green, and it looks so good with red, as you can tell. Plus, this paper actually incorporates some of the traditional green as well, which is fine with me, but as long as we got that lime, because y'all know how I feel about lime. It just says happy. Now this is kind of a swirl paisley pattern. Not necessarily a Christmas pattern, but definitely in Christmas color, so we're going to make it into something Christmas. Now, if you're picking out your paper, say you're wrapping a bunch of gifts, you need to pick all of your ribbons to coordinate. Like if you were doing everything in the silver family, then all your ribbons would need to be in the silver family. However, if you're doing the colors like this, because a lot of people ask me how many bolts and how many different kinds of ribbon do you have to buy. Well, I use 4 or 5 with each one, but it doesn't take so much ribbon, because see, we're only using it, where you have 10 yards on each row, we're only using like a 1.5 yards to 2 for each one, so you could get like 5 different bows out of each different thing, which is good. Whereas people used to ask me, they'd bring me this much ribbon. And they go, make me one of those beautiful bows, and I'm like, I can't with that. Okay, so I want to start off with something wide right off the bat, so isn't that pretty? It's still got the lime green, the Christmas green, and the red, all incorporated, and it has a swirly motion. It's okay to mix patterns. People are scared of patterns. They don't bite. They really don't, and you can use them. So we're going to cut us a piece of this, as it's got to go in this big box. And again, I'm doing this so that you can slide this off, because that's, if you actually glue this onto the box, or something like that, it's going to be very, this is a lot of ribbon. You might just want to lay it around somewhere. Put it in your hair if you want to, whatever you want to do. Make sure that all that's flat. See how pretty that looks with that color? And then we're starting our process again. Now, I love this. Now, this is getting expensive because it has got like a organdy fabric on the back. Very stiff. It's almost like it's been starched. But what it's going to do is give us a great background to build our bow against. Except you have to almost have muscles to cut this ribbon. But it has a lot of stamina. We like stamina because it will stand up against time. We've learned a lot about stamina in spin class. Okay, so I'm not really going to make a whole lot with this because it's so expensive, so I don't want to use a lot of it, but look how you can just flat, I mean, you would almost have to run over that with a car. We'll probably make one more loop, maybe not. Let me see, let me do this a little bit smaller. Again, let's do a close-up of this, Liz. When I'm grabbing this, I'm making sure that I have that caught and making sure also that I don't stab myself with that, because that way it will come unraveled if you don't have it all gathered up, and I'm kind of puckering it in the middle. This will allow us to have one more, since this isn't that large of a box, we'll have one more loop and a streamer. So we want to go back to this ribbon because that's what we used at first, so we're going to use a little, actually a very little bit. It's not going to bother us, we're just going to go on with this. We're going to leave a streamer. Now this is an example of a ribbon that has a back side and a front side. So you definitely want to, you'll have to twist. We have to make sure that the glitter side is showing out. As we did with this one, because it's just solid green on the other side. So we twist right there. We're still holding it with our finger. And you're thinking, I know what you're thinking, I can hear y'all right now. You're thinking, you have to adore the person that's getting that gift. My wife is getting this, so that is the case. But, you know, even if you don't get quite this lavish of ribbon, you can still get this effect with other ribbon instead of just putting just one of those stobalt, as I call them, those. See, I'm going to have to go shopping again. I'm getting down to the end of my wire. There you go with that. Hanging from that side. Loop. And then we're going to clip any kind of edge you have that you can clip at an angle. That already is. This one could probably go at an angle. I hate to cut it. I'm like my grandmother, saving everything. I hate to waste any of this ribbon because it's so pretty, but you do want to get kind of a nice edge. So that's how we're looking so far. Then we're going to go with this little check, smaller, coming that way, twisting because it is a right and wrong side. Glitter's only on one side, we're leaving that there. See, I almost have a bow making marathon. I feel like I've had one. I love this because this is like a silk ribbon that has a plaid, but the thing I liked about it in conjunction with this package is it has the lime green and the traditional green, so that pops us right back to that line. It's sort of like, in a way, it's sort of like coordinating fabric. If you were doing that in the living room or your dining room where you were coordinating chair fabric with curtain fabric or stuff like that, this is the same principle. We're using all the same colors, we're just using them in different textures and different patterns. We're going to clip that right there. We're going to go back and find our center point. And we're going to come in here and tie this. I've got such thick ribbon, I'm going to have to really squeeze this. But not to worry. We will get it. See, it's a little workout, I told you. Find some stamina in wrapping gifts. And again, just take a minute to fluff. And the deal is that this wire will allow you to do it because it will stay where you tell it to unless you run over it with a car or something like that. So there you go. A very whimsical and fun package that I'm sure Deborah's going to look forward to opening. Now come back, I'm going to show you one more group of colorations that I think you'll like. Okay, we're popping up the color now. We're getting out of just the traditional green, red, and lime green, and we're going to add some other colors like hot pink and turquoise and blue and purple and stuff like that. Look at this. I love this. It's red on one side, and so it does have a right side. And this, again, one of these very stiff ribbons that almost looks like a dress fabric or a nice silk curtain fabric or something. You want to use this sparingly. And we're going to make us a loop. I must confess, I have not wrapped the box that this is going to be going on. So I already know what paper it is, but we're just starting on the bow. We're really doing this kind of backwards. Okay. I mean, you can hear that. It's like almost starched, which is great. Now, I fell in love with this. This is like, you're talking about for an immediate pop, you can get it with this lime green. It almost looks like foil. Do y'all remember when we used to cover the doors at our classrooms with foil paper? This is exactly what this took me back to. And I was always the one designated to do that since I was artsy. And I have covered some doors, let me tell you. I always hated it when there was like a seam or something that I couldn't hide. But look how pretty that just immediately brings a pop into Christmas. And so we're going to bring that streamer over there. So we're still not hiding all this pretty ribbon because it's expensive. We want to make sure we show it. Now, I love this because it's fun. It's in the same colors, but it's in a polka dot and glittered polka dot against white. So it's going to give us a different depth. And we're going to let it go into sort of, we're getting smaller with each loop. We're going into the crown of the bow. And looky there. We're at the end. I'm going to have to go shopping, Liz, right after you leave. Okay, some more ribbons. I'm definitely not finished. Are y'all finished? We've got lots to do. This is like a stripe. Total glitter. I'm glittering, Liz is glittering, the floor is glittering. 'Tis the season, right? Okay, we're going to put this right here. Starts off with a pretty streamer. The other thing I like about this combination of colors is it incorporates the red with the other kind of, kind of fun colors. So we still have a touch of red, but you see how it goes to pink, it goes to blue, it goes to purple. So that's allowing us to play off of this, without just being totally normal red. And then we're going to leave a streamer there. We're going to add a touch of this, which has just got a little touch of gold. There we go. Gold and emerald green, blue. It takes you back to everything. Plus introduces gold, which I love. We had silver at the beginning. Now we're doing a touch of gold. Again, smaller loops. We're twisting because this has a front and back. I figured if I did 3 different bows, y'all could get all your questions answered. Again, an angle with that. And then finally, this is sort of like that foil that we used before. This reminds me of something that like Godiva chocolate would be wrapped in. But it's got a little, it's gathered in the middle. So it gives you a little touch of a different texture. And it's real stiff too, so you can just put a few loops right in the middle. And there you are. So when we come back, we're going to recap about our bow making. I'm going to show you all the packages. And I may have my little friend with me, if he's behaving, Georgie, our Chihuahua, who sometimes is fun and sometimes let's say he's been naughty, sometimes nice. Here's Georgie visiting with me, our Chihuahua of 12 years. He's interesting. Y'all have seen him several times over the years. He's got a little collar. He's not really a fan of costumes, but Liz has got him a smoking jacket that he really rocks. So I want to do a little recap, and Georgie, I want you to look at the camera and tell them Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and all of that, because here it is, and he's on my apron too. That was my last year Christmas design. But again, color, poof. You can even go back. These are some of those non-breakable plastic ornaments that look like they're glass ornaments. You can go back and hot glue some into here. This one I took and glued several in and has the ribbon just coming out randomly around the outer edge. Beautiful paper with a black background. So I hope that this bow making, he's getting heavy. I hope that, wait, you're caught up with me. Whoa. There you go. I hope this bow making 101-2 class will help you to go out and create beautiful packages for all your loved ones and family and friends during this holiday season. Georgie's already sniffing it to see which one is his. He's going to be surprised since it's not wrapped yet. Y'all go out and create some beautiful bows, and we'll see you next time. Say Happy Holidays. Look at this. Happy Holidays. Merry Christmas.